Celebrating 10 years with our fans. Franchise Hockey Manager 10, officially licensed by the NHL. Welcome to the next generation of FHM. Play the game your way. Custom games now allow you to import real teams or entire leagues from anywhere in the world or from our historical game. And you can now set up promotion and relegation systems for your custom leagues. Gain more control with our reworked trade system, including new team needs and player shopping systems. Beware the media. Manage media relations that can affect your team's happiness and the opinions of your fans and owner. Bring more hockey history to life by traveling all the way back to 1909 and the newly playable National Hockey Association, complete with 7-man hockey. College hockey has expanded. American college teams now have to contend with the transfer portal, and the Canadian college teams are now playable. Updated for the 2023-2024 season for every NHL club, as well as international, minor, college, and junior leagues. Get to know the players better with prospect tournaments, youth tournaments, and new scouting options. And so much more. Franchise Hockey Manager 10, celebrating 10 years of hockey strategy with our fans. All on the only NHL licensed PC game. Releasing November 7th, 2023.
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps, and the players bump, and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Where players dash with skates a flash, the home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees, they travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside, it's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, take me where the hockey players face up down the ring, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and the one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins, the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
All right, you guys pumped? You guys ready for another show? Welcome everyone into the Black Aces NHL podcast with Old Man Fred, Frank the Tank, Lanky Frank, whatever he's calling himself this week, and Finn, of course, from good old Edmonton, Oiler Town. Well, guys, before we get to it again, just to mention to everyone watching, thanks again, Out of the Park Developments, for raiding over with the crew. And again, we are here to, promote Out of the Park Developments and Franchise Hockey Manager, which just came out at the beginning of November. And we will be giving away a copy for Steam. So if you're a Steam user, you can enter in for a chance to win that. And we're going to start that right now, but you have to be here at the end of the show. If we draw your name and you're not here at the end of the show when we announce the winner, then we're going to pick a new name. So hope you're able to stick around. We only go for an hour on Monday nights. So exclamation ticket, exclamation enter. Leo Remus is the first to enter tonight. And again, we'll make that draw at the end of the show for a copy of FHM 10, that Boiled Egg and Pop Stongoria and Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon, all playing quite a bit with either Chicago, Washington, or the San Jose Sharks. All right, crew, you know where we usually start. We usually start with our logos. And this week we are going to Dallas. So the Dallas Stars, of course, came over from Minnesota. Lanky Frank and Old Man Fred and I remember the Minnesota North Stars. And they've gone through a few logo changes over the years. Here's a little clip of what Dallas has undergone in terms of their logo. All right, so old man Fred, start us off. Your favorite Dallas Stars logo over the years.
What's the difference between 1321? I'm trying to look.
Yeah,
There's not even a color. At least the other one.
The green on the
looks a
outside.
little brighter.
Yeah, the green's a little brighter on the outside on the latest one.
Oh wow! Can't even notice that. Oh. Somebody got paid the big bucks for fudging their homework.
Come on, Lanky Frank. Look at that, Frank the Tank. Look at that little brighter green there.
Wow.
oh my gosh. So, yeah, if it's up to me, you know what? I'm, as you mentioned, I'm called Old Man Fred for a reason. Yeah, so no to the Dallas. I always loved the Minnesota North Stars logo. I remember them defeating the Oilers. I think it was 91. The Oilers had that good run, and then were defeated by the North Stars, and then North Stars, of course, lost. I think it was to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's the season. I think they were 8th or 16th. They were
for sure. The Oilers were actually quite high. I think they won the division.
And they went on a run. Everybody was hoping, but it didn't happen at the end.
Yeah, so anyway, so 85-91, that's the one I like. So
yeah, and I'm going to agree with you. That is my pick, 85-91. I just love that, the colors. And, you know, if I got a Dallas jersey, that would be the one, the old Minnesota North Stars. How about you, Finn? Younger generation here. You never grew up with those older school uniforms.
The year Minnesota moved to Dallas is the year I entered this planet.
91, huh?
I like the 2013 to 2021. I like the industrial sort of look it has.
You millennials. And Frank?
Yeah.
Same as you guys. I like the original one, but taking the circle away and coloring the N with yellow, I think brought it to a new level. So that's the one that looks the best. The best of the Dallas one. I'm not going with the new gen. I'm going to go with the first one, 91, 93, because I don't think I need to know they're in Dallas. That's like for stupid fans where you have to put the city just in case you don't know who you're rooting for. Let's put Dallas, you know, that's our fans, you know.
Yeah. Mike Modano, I think of Mike Modano when I see the middle logos there. I think of, the classic North Stars, Dino Ciccarelli, and I think Gump Worsley, didn't he play for Minnesota? And
For a while, yeah.
then with Dallas, the newer ones, of course, I think of the Jamie Benn and the more modern day players, but have to go with 85. Boiled Egg says 85.
They won the cup in 99, right? That's the logo, 94, 2013, the cup winning logo, right? Is that
the Brett Hall years? Yeah. Yep. The foot in the crease, the infamous foot in the crease.
Or Buffalo. Yeah, they could have had a shot. So
Buffalo did. All right. Well, tonight's action, Old Man Fred's team is currently in overtime right now. So I don't know if he's got that on in the background, but
I might. Yeah, I might have that just as I'm looking to my right. Yeah.
And I saw someone Leo mentioned that Tavares got his 1,000th point tonight.
On the empty net goal too, on the assist. So.
Wow. So it's over now. I'll turn it off. And the Leafs lost. So there you go. So
I see that. Yeah.
So
4-3. It's just showing up now. So
hockey's a stupid game. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
That's about as angry as
you
old
wish
man
you had
Fred
your
gets.
goaltender. Is that like a song? Don't you wish you had your goaltender?
Yeah, it should be.
And the other two games underway right now, Dallas and Detroit. There's that Dallas logo we were talking about, and the Flames just underway against the Colorado Avalanche. So those are your actions today. But let's start off with some good news for us fanboys of a certain Alberta team, and that is the Edmonton Oilers. And look at these stats over the last 7 games: 7-0, first in all these categories except PK. We're second. So Finn, time to gloat a little bit. What's gone right for Edmonton in the last 2 weeks?
To be honest, what hasn't gone right these last 2 weeks? Everything's clicking. You want to drop the puck every night the way they're playing, but Nurse is playing closer to his contract would want him to play at. Bouchard isn't making bonehead plays. Ekholm is playing like what we wanted him to play like when we drafted him. Top 6 are firing on all cylinders. Bottom 6 is chipping in. No, the team has especially the bottom half of the roster. They have an identity now, and that's because of Knobloch. They're giving those the Ryans and the Fogels and Janmarks and all those guys. He's giving them a want to play. To be honest. They're not just recycling McDavid and Draisaitl every second shift out there to try to win a game. They're giving them everybody a chance to win a game for the Oilers.
What about you? What say you, old man Fred, about the Oilers last couple of weeks?
You know, I was just looking at some of the writing, and I see Boiled Egg said, well, schedule helped. And I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest with you. I saw Vegas. I saw Carolina. Washington was playing well. I mean, when they beat Washington. I haven't seen any easy teams. And the easy teams, San Jose, they lost to San Jose. So, those are Chicago. Chicago's coming in tomorrow. So I don't think it's been a super easy schedule. But the difference is everything that was going wrong just did and everybody was shocked by it, right? And it was just disgusting, and you hated being here and watching and listening and reading texts from Frank. But and then suddenly it just absolutely did a turnaround, like a 180. And it, Frank doesn't text much anymore about this stuff. And
finally. I was more pissed off than you guys were, because I really want the cup to come back to Canada.
Yeah, no, I know that. And you said
the Oilers, it's not. The Leafs are not a hope. So the Oilers were the only hope, and they were shitting the bed. And I go, who the hell's going to win the cup now in Canada, man? I was pissed.
Well, it looked like Vancouver for a while, but at least that gave us something. But I hear you, man. Like, and as long as it's not Calgary, any other team is fine.
It won't be Calgary. That's for sure. They're going on a sale, Grab your players while you can.
There you go. But yeah, so, and also, you know what? I'm just going to say this really quickly. Coffee has seemed to have slowly started to make a difference because I'm noticing something different with the defense. Bouchard looks like he's got a lot of confidence back, and he's not a defensive defenseman. And I'm old man Fred for a reason. I remember people just bitching about Coffee and his defensive inabilities back in the day. And they were really angry with Coffee, right? To the point where when he got traded, some people were absolutely thrilled and happy. So anyway, I think Coffee's making a difference back there. I don't see him as a permanent thing. I don't know if it'll last more than even this year. But Knobloch, good for him, but I'm hearing that Coffee's making a bit of a difference.
Well, you know what they say, those that can't teach.
Well, I'm a pretty prime example of that for about 35 years. So
For those that don't know, there's two teachers on the panel, so it was a double.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of how teams are doing, if we look at the standings, and we like to do this every week, is kind of look who's moving up, who's moving down. We see a lot of the same
Hey,
teams.
Mr. Tortorella, how's the Stanley Cup hangover going with Vegas?
How about the Flyers with the 4-game win streak as well?
Just you wait. It's December. You want to toot that horn?
just wait. They're still in a playoff spot, and Winnipeg has won their last 4 games.
By the way, New Jersey isn't. That's gonna last. Carolina isn't. That's gonna last. But okay, go with that. Philly in the playoffs.
Hey,
I'm a believer. I wasn't a believer for Vancouver for the first 6 weeks of the season. Ryan had them in the playoffs. I thought he was completely nuts. I did not think they had the defense to go into the playoffs. And Ronek has just made such a difference. He's like a game changer over there. I am a believer in Vancouver, but not Philly.
Don't you mean Tocchet?
No, Tocchet, he was there last year, but it's really that D is now set, and Zadorov just adds to it. I think with that acquisition, it even solidifies the D even more. But I'm a believer in Vancouver now. I wasn't for the first 6 weeks, so they're going to flame out, blah, blah, blah. And I still think Philadelphia is going to flame out. I don't think New Jersey is going to be out of the playoffs by the end of the year. So I just wanted that Vancouver, like hot starts, I think that is sustainable. I'm a believer, and Ryan's going to get kudos at the end of the year because I think he's the only one that had them in the playoffs.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's fallen off. Minnesota, of course. Buffalo's moving up a little bit.
San Jose, look at 0-11, and they're 8-9 and whatever. It's like, what happened to them? They're almost 500 after that 0-11 start. That's like amazing. Yeah. I don't know what they put in their Wheaties after that 0-11, but it's the NHL. It's a team game, eh? When you get hot, you get hot, and that's what's happening with San Jose out of all people.
So Finn, with the top 16 that you see here, who is the one team that you see having the biggest fall in the next month?
That's a good question.
Islanders.
Okay. How about you, man?
I think everybody above the Islanders is going to be there at the end of the year.
I agree with Frank. I can't see Philly sustaining this. So The Islanders won tonight, so I mean, yes, they're not going to play the Leafs every night. I mean, there's lots of teams that would sign up for that, but but yeah, I think the Flyers are going to fall.
Okay, and then Frank already said the Flyers would be the team that falls.
I agree with both because I don't know how the Islanders are doing it. They have no offense, no defense. All-star goalie who's playing average this year. Varlamov is actually outplaying Sorokin, and they're playing above 600. I don't know how they're doing it. It's like, I guess when they lose 5-1, and when they win like tonight by 1 goal, just like the Habs, But statistically, they have no offensive star like New Jersey has, like Colorado has, Edmonton. They have a bunch of number 2 lines, no D to speak of, and contracts that are shit, and they're over 600. So I think both of them are going to go down by year end because I don't understand how they're winning now.
Yeah. And when we look at our weekly leaderboard here for points, Connor McDavid now has moved into the top 10. Finally, he's moved into the top 10 where he belongs. But Frank, I mean, Sam Reinhart, I know in our drafts, hockey pool drafts, you were pretty big on Sam Reinhart. You could get him later on in the draft. Both him and Sam Bennett kind of went late in a lot of drafts.
I traded for him in the dynasty, in our dynasty, and then I drafted him in another league. I had a feeling about Reinhart. That's why I traded for him. I just had a feeling he would break out this year, and thank God, because Tkachuk is not doing that well. So he's keeping Florida. He kept Florida afloat while Montour and Ekblad came back. So good on them because he's keeping that team. Like he's number 2 or 3 in terms of goal scorer. So and what happened? Kucherov is now 7 points ahead of everyone. Holy mama! He didn't slow down after a 6-point game, I guess.
Yeah, and Finn, we have a guy that the Edmonton fans, when he plays bad, they're on him. Like they want to run him out of town. And when he plays good, they fall back in love with him. And that's Evan Bouchard, who quietly is 21st now.
I thought you were talking about Draisaitl. He's the same. He has the same sort of polarizing fanfare. Draisaitl. When the team's playing bad, they want to ship Draisaitl out. When the team's playing good, they love Draisaitl.
So what's up with Bouchard? Like you watch every single game. What do you see him doing over the last couple of weeks that is making a difference?
It's the Ekholm factor. Ever since we traded for Ekholm, Bouchard has been one of, if not the top, definitely top 5 point-getting defenseman. When you have someone like Ekholm saying, "Go up, Bouchard, you go get a point, and I'll sit here and protect the front of the net," I mean, it makes Bouchard, you don't have to worry about it. Also, I heard a crazy stat today that there was a stat on slap shots over 90 miles an hour, and Bouchard is 8 slap shots ahead of the next person in the NHL. So that guy can fire the puck, and he fires it hard, and he fires it accurately. He doesn't just fire it into shin pads. He's picking corners.
His goal yesterday was a beauty, 98 point something.
Yeah.
Not even high. Like right above like the pads and all that, like this far off the ice. It was beauty, and it moved. Like on the camera, you just went.
the puck tracker lost track of it.
Yeah, exactly. And like you can see, like as the goaltender, he went, "What happened? What?
Yeah.
It's a goal."
No, that guy fires it, and it's not just even his slap shot. It's his wrist shot. It's his snapshot. If he wants to pick a corner, he picks a corner, and he can put it anywhere he wants. And people get so frustrated with him because sometimes he'll pass it off, but he's passing it off because he doesn't have a shot. He's not just going to fire it into traffic. Yeah. Like he said in the interview last game, he said his job is to get it by the first defender. So if he can't get it by the first defender, he's passing it off.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're on our first break here. When we come back, we've got our 3 talking points for the week. Each of the panel has come up with something they want to focus on this week. So we'll get to that right after the break. And don't forget our game of the week coming up. We'll see how we all predicted the game last week. And again, enter exclamation ticket for your chance to win a copy of FHM 10 on Steam. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, we are back, and before we get to our talking points, quick update on the rookie point scoring. It was just last week when some of us were asking, what's Adam Fantilli? He's way down on the rookie scoring, but it looks like he's had a heck of a week. He's moved into a tie for second in rookie scoring. Connor Bedard still first, 23 points, minus 14, so the plus minus is still really high. But going to be a great game tomorrow. Edmonton, Chicago in Edmonton. Connor versus Connor for the first time in their careers. Finn, you must be looking forward to that game between those two superstars.
Well, it's going to be interesting to me on a different side of the coin. It was exciting to see Connor McDavid line up against Crosby for the first time. So now we're kind of seeing the different angle where the guy who is the best player in the league is now going to line up against what could be the next best player in the league.
Right. Well, Finn, we're going to start with you and your talking point. Go ahead, Frank.
For Fantilli, they put him on the first line because they got desperate. Nothing is working with that first line. So his ice time naturally went up. So he had a good week points-wise. But don't forget, he's got 30 games played. Columbus, in the first 60 days of the season, played 30 games. That's a game every 2 days on average. So they have 7 games more played than Ottawa. So just be careful for that. Like, he's just above half a point a game. So,
okay. Finn, your talking point, you wanted to talk about the draft and the changes that are going to take place with the draft. This coming year in 2024, it's still going to stay the same. I think it's going to be in Vegas, 2024. But after that, they're going to a decentralized draft. And that was your hot topic for this week. So take it away.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the work from home movement either. I mean, I know I'm going to probably rattle some cages with that one, but I think society in general would lose something, or is going to lose something, when we all stop seeing each other on a daily basis. And this isn't that to that extent, but when you get all these people in a room and they're all chatting and they're all, spur of the moment kind of ideas when it comes to trades and what's happening on the draft floor and stuff like that. It's going to be hard to recreate over a phone, I think. I mean, I see it just at my own job when we were all working from home for a couple of years there. There was some liberties taken, people maybe signing out early or logging in late or whatever. But when you're actually working beside the people that are going to get affected by your actions, you're going to make the best actions you can. Not to mention the problem solving that happens when you're sitting next to the person that you're working with instead of having to give them a call or whatever. So I don't like the NHL going this way. I think they're saving money or trying to save money, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think they're saving that much money. So yeah, no, I hope this is overturned at some point. I hope that we could get all the GMs, all the teams back into a room again and have them squabble over who wants to trade what or who wants to draft who. Or then you got all your insiders who are watching GMs go to the corner of a room and they're starting to wonder what's going on, what are they talking about, who do they want to trade, stuff like that. I think the NHL is going to lose something with this.
Yeah, but then you don't get a Kevin Costner movie on the NFL draft, you know?
Old man Fred, any opinion about one way or the other?
Yeah, I heard it was about saving a lot of money, actually, by doing this. The NFL, of course, has done it for years. Don't really follow the NBA, so somebody could help me out regarding that. But I don't see it the same way as the NHL stuff.
No, the NHL is the only one that had in person.
That does it that way. Okay, so you know what? I do like the drama and I like the kids being excited, and I like their parents there, and I agree with Ben to a certain extent that there is an excitement that's there. And I think those kids have earned it. And if it makes us being the NHL, the league I care about the most, a little bit different, then that's okay. But there is a money thing that is involved here, and it is expensive. They're going to Vegas to the Sphere. I don't know. I've been to Vegas a couple of times. I guess this is a big deal. And if you're going to go somewhere, they're going there instead of Red Deer. I guess that makes sense. But yeah. So anyway, I understand the move. I agree with Finn. I'll be a little bit sentimental and nostalgic for the way it used to be.
Yeah, but there will be kids there. By the way, they're going to do like the NFL. The first rounders are going to be on site. It's just they won't shake the hand of the coach, the GM, the assistant GM, the head scout, the European scout, like the whole table. They went all around. And the other thing nobody talked about is this was a request by the teams to do this.
Yes.
This year, the Cup, if it goes to the max, the last game of the Cup is the 25th or 26th of June. The draft is on the 28th, 29th, and then free agent is on the 1st.
Wow.
Teams said, whoa. Now I got to fly to Vegas, fly back. I'm losing time to prepare my draft. I'm losing time to prepare free agency. I'd rather stick to home base like the other sports do. There'll be a team rep there. Like a figurehead, like a Trevor Linden for Vancouver, a Carey Price for Montreal, and then the second round will be like the NFL. It will be calls, at home with cameras, probably. Hopefully they do that because that's what they do with the NFL, and they always show the reactions after the fact. But that's why they did it timeline, because apparently hockey is played in June, late June, which is completely asinine. And that's, again, greed. And I don't understand why we start the season sometimes in the 10th of October. Yeah. It's like you could start the season mid-September because it's starting to get chilly, and at least finish by May for God. Yeah. Going to try not to swear, and that would solve all the problems.
No, I agree. I think I like the draft element. I understand the money aspect, the monetary aspect. Teams are saving. I know Edmonton, when they built the new arena, it was always like, okay, you guys are going to get the All-Star game and the draft within the next 2 or 3 years. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting
Plus,
to have this
Vegas
event.
came in the league.
Yeah. And it just, they keep going, of course. And I understand they're going to Florida, they're going to Nashville, they're going to Vegas, Los Angeles. Players don't want to come to Edmonton in the middle of January for an All-Star break. Brad Marchand already said that, that we don't want to go to Detroit and we don't want to go to Edmonton. So,
but they do want to go to Edmonton when there's a worldwide plague. Then Edmonton's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get to host the.
You're immune. You're immune from the plague in Edmonton.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody else is here anyway. So what the hell? We're all safe. So.
Yeah. Oh, all right, Frank. We're going to go to you. You wanted to talk about how time catches up with all of us and even players in the NHL, and talking about some of the old folk and how they're doing.
Yeah. So the way I framed it is Father Time is undefeated. And it's always inevitable that time catches up to all players. And here I'm thinking specifically about Alex Ovechkin. And what I want to talk about is my computer frozen and nothing's moving.
No, everyone else seems to be okay. Maybe it's just you, Frank.
Oh.
Is Frank frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Do we have a frozen Frank?
We do.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna remove Frank and have Frank come back in here. So let's see, Frank. We're gonna kick you. There you go. So, all right. Who did that? Was that you, Boiled Egg? Did you hack the system and have Frank removed?
Just for the sake of filling time here, there's 33 shots by Evan Bouchard over 90 miles an hour. And one of them, he clocked in at 100.5 miles an hour.
He is no Chara. He is no Zdeno Chara. There's Frank. Frank is back.
My computer crashed, so all my prep work is done. So I'll go by memory. So like we've seen, like everybody's waiting for Sid to slow down, and what he's doing this year is gonna go down as a historical performance. Malkin is slowing down, but he's going down slowly. But Ovechkin is on track for 15 goals this year, approximately, down from 42. So I was like, okay, so is it Father Time finally catching up to a player, or is there something else at work? So I don't have all my research, but I'll go from memory. First thing we have to look at is overall ice time, and you have it there, 1925. That's down only 50 seconds from last year. The other thing is power play time, almost identical as last year. It's 4:55 and 4:52 or something from memory. So that's not a cause. What is happening is his shots per game are going down, and his shooting percentage are historically low. I think he's shooting 5-point-something% right now, and he was shot 14% last year. His career is mid-teens. So that leads to the question, is it Father Time, or is there some other influences that are causing this drought, basically, this season-long drought for Ovechkin? You have to remember, he played with Backstrom, and when Kuznetsov came in, he actually played with Kuznetsov for a couple of years while Backstrom, they wanted to spread the wealth in terms of centers, and he actually did well with Kuznetsov. And now Backstrom is gone, and Kuznetsov forgot how to play hockey. Too much white powder, I guess. But Oh yeah, he got busted, by the way.
He's a baker. What he bakes? What? White
Yeah,
powder?
exactly. Yeah, too much. He wanted his muffins to rise too much. That fits for the other stuff too. So he's just a mess. And you look, there's no centers. So is it Ovechkin that lost a step that can't get open anymore, or he doesn't have that player to give him the puck? And if you look at all his stats, it's puck luck. So Washington has to move heaven and earth. Apparently, they're signing Ethan Bear. That's the rumors to shore up their defense, but they have bigger problems. They have to solve the center ice position because look, it's 5.6 shooting percentage versus 14 versus 15. That doesn't just disappear. So nobody's getting him the puck. Maybe he would have slowed down a little bit, but not to this point, not 42 to 15. So there's no centers to play with him that are effective right now. They have a couple of rookies that need to mature. So they need to go get a center and fast. And the perfect center for them is a Hurdle in San Jose. And that it's like, it's a little bit like the discussions we've had. And I think you had a rant there, Glenn, about the Oilers getting a goalie. You said, trade this, trade my picks, trade anything. We have to get a goalie. And it's the same thing with Washington. The time to win is now. Carlson is coming up, like get the center. Trade for cap reason, trade Kuznetsov to San Jose as a salary dump, get Hurdle, and then give the Lapierre. The only two prospects I would keep is Leonard, he was just drafted. That's for the future, and Miroshenko. Everybody else, McMichael, Lapierre, if it gets you Hurdle and it gets you Ovechkin back on track and it gets you a chance to make the playoffs, you do it. Because right now, the way things are going, that Gretzky record probably ain't going to get beat. So my view is that it is not father time. It's a little dose of father time, but it's really the talent level at center for Washington.
Let me put this to the panel. What about the opposite, Frank? What about Ovechkin going to another team? Is that a possibility?
Never going to happen. That's like trading Sid. Not going to happen.
So he's capital for life.
Well, he's pretty expensive
to move unless he asks for it. Yeah, correct. But some team, if there's a cap for cap type thing, and some team might go for it, just a big market, for the name and all that. But he's going to have to ask for it. The Caps are never, ever going for that. So, no, they have to do what they have to do. The other player in San Jose is Logan Couture is rumored to be also available, but he doesn't fit Ovechkin. Logan's a shooter. He needs somebody to feed him the passes. So they got to wake up because it's like we all were looking forward to that record being broken because I'm not nostalgic. I love records to be broken. But 15 goals per year, he's going to play like Gordie Howe till 51 for him to break the record,
Old man Fred, what do you think about the Ovi situation?
Well, you know what? I think I agree with Frank. There is some of it is father time, but also it's who's around him and what's going on and look at the team. I don't think this drop is father time. I mean, that's a huge drop. Just looking at and I like Frank's text earlier today, about nobody beats father time. And it's true. Goalies tend to get a little bit longer in the tooth. I mean, maybe, but, there was Chelios, I think he was 44 by the time he was done. But I just think the scorers, like I know Gretzky, his last year, I think it was 9 goals or something like that. And of course, that's just the way it goes. And So I think Gretzky was more Father Time than Ovechkin. Boiled Egg said he doesn't skate very much and so on. No, he's there, for that shot and the power play and things like that. But again, hockey is not a one-man game, and I think you surround him a little bit. Now, will Washington do that? Will they risk the future so that their truly legendary superstar can break a record and do that to his ego and so on and so forth, and of course it's good for Washington. I think that would be a crappy move, really. If you
hold on, Kuznetsov is over 30 and Hurdle is not old. He's not 35.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is you're trading away a lot of people for this Hurdle guy who's and who's going to. I don't think he'll resurrect him, but he will improve it. I agree. But would you do that? I mean, I don't
I don't think they will. I just said they should.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like as a manager,
I'm selfish. I want the record broken. And Boiled Egg said he doesn't have the passion anymore. I understand all that, but I want the record to be broken. Like, who's going to be in a position to break that record if it's not Ovi?
I'm quite comfortable with no one ever breaking the record.
Yeah, me too.
As a matter of fact, I'm kind of, I feel like Babe Ruth's wife, right? She didn't want anybody breaking his record either. So,
but you're from Edmonton.
Gretzky, I guess. So
you're biased. You're from Edmonton.
I am, and I was here when he was doing what he was doing. So
yeah. And by the way, to go to your goalie, sometimes Father Time kicks somebody's ass.
Yes. Yeah.
Knocks him out. He's on the canvas after the 10 count. And then he does a Tyson Fury, resurrects. And I'm talking here about Jonathan Quick, who's out playing Sherstikin. And he just told Father Time, like, he's like the Undertaker, resuscitated from the dead. Because when it's like he was like awful. And then look at him, 9'2", 220. It's like back from the dead he is. And think about all these goalies that had Father Time kick their ass that didn't have this opportunity to land on the right team. Like, what a smart decision from him, because he probably got multiple offers, and he chose the Rangers probably because the system, everything fit his game. But imagine all the other type of players like that just retired. Like, Fleury's another example, It's like he's not in a good spot right now. What if he was in the Rangers? Would he be the same as Quick or better? Who knows? So sometimes Father Time gets punched, wobbles, but at the end of the day, always undefeated.
Yeah, and I can't believe Patrick Kane is 35 years old already. I still remember the draft when he was picked first overall. Here's a question, because Frank, you know everything. Let's see. Do you remember in that draft year who the Edmonton Oilers took a few picks later?
Kane was before or after Taze? What order? I think
he's still on the team.
He's still on the team?
Ryan, Finn, don't give away that. This is Frank the Tank. He should know everything. Do you remember who went second in that draft?
Oh, that's fucking, it's 17 years ago. I'm good. 18 years ago. I'm good, but not that good.
I think it was the guy on Toronto, the guy that went to Boston, Van Riemsdyk, wasn't it?
Was that the draft? Just let me check. I'll go look real quick. Now I'm curious. And who's 35 on Edmonton that stayed there? What?
The answer, Ryan, Finn, is...
Well, I thought it was Sam Gagner.
Yeah, I think it was Sam Gagner, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because
it's his third time with the Oilers. He didn't stay with the Oilers. It's his third time with the Oilers.
Yeah. And what rank? Where did he get him?
It was 9th overall.
Well, he's had a good career.
Because I think didn't Washington go off the board for some defenseman or something like that, and Gagner slipped a little bit and allowed Edmonton to take him?
I don't.
Someone went off the board. Los Angeles, maybe.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, Los Angeles, Thomas Hickey. And then, Thomas Hickey. Yeah, that was way off the board. Yeah, so it's Kane, Van Riemsdyk, Turris. He underperformed.
Wow.
Hickey also there. Gagne was 6th overall, not 9th.
Well, 6th,
so not
geez.
that great of a pick at 6th. Then Voracek, then the great Zach Hamill. So he starred in Star Wars, for those that didn't know. So
Dorothy's brother. Yeah.
So it's Mark Hamill's brother. So he had 20 games in NHL, 4 assists. Then Logan Couture, talking about him, that's available, but that's the guy who's not a fit. And then on 10th, Keaton Ellerby. And you had a Sutter brother. I have to mention the Sutter brother. Then you had Montreal taking McDonough and then pissing him away.
Well, we got to get on to old man Fred's talking point because this one, I think is going to
talk about Ovechkin quickly.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Fred. Yeah.
I think it's more farther time than what we realized. Ovechkin has been a fan favorite of mine since he's been in the league, and he's been a favorite of mine for one of many reasons. And one of them is that he hits people like nobody's business, and that does a lot of wear and tear on the body too. So when you get to 38 years old and you've been hitting like he hits, it's going to start wearing on you. So I think, sure, you can sell the farm to try to put more talent around him, but that's a lot of risk for just a record.
All right, I still think he does.
To me, it's not risk because Washington's going to need a number 1 center, and Hurdle fits the bill. He signed for 4 more years at $7 million, so he's there to pass the torch to all the newest talents that are coming in because they kept some of their picks. So it's not just a trade to get a Monahan type thing; it's really a hockey trade, and to dump Kuznetsov, who's a complete disaster. He's getting healthy scratched,
I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to break the record, even if he takes 6-7 years. I think he's not Yager, but I think he'll stay as long as it takes.
He's going to pull a Datsuk at one point. He's going to finish his career in Mother Russia, so he's going to want to keep some legs to.
Not before breaking the record, though.
I agree.
If he goes 15 goals a game, he's not sticking around for how many years is that? He's got to stick around. He figured he would do it by the end of this contract. He's not going to sign another contract at 40 to try to break it.
He needs 70 goals? 70 goals.
15 per year, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6 years.
5th year from no. He's not sticking around with 43.
He's staying until he breaks it.
No.
Yep.
Well, all right. Topic for next week because we're going to talk the World Juniors, but we can talk about if Ovechkin is sticking around or not and have a little debate on that until he breaks the record. I think that's a good topic.
By the way, next week is our last episode for 2023 because we're going to take a couple weeks off because Christmas Day falls on a Monday and New Year's falls on a Monday as well. So we're gonna do some World Junior coverage around January 1st. We're going to look at the World Junior Tournaments, one of the biggest events in Canada. I don't know how well it is in the US if it's watched quite a bit, but we're going to do some World Junior coverage in early January. But next week, our last show for this calendar year. All right, old man Fred, before you get on to your topic, I want to show a little video clip here so the audience can kind of get a better understanding of what you want to go on about. So let's watch this.
In the Florida and Columbus game Sunday afternoon, and it all started with Nick Cousins being, let's be honest, a bit of a greasy rat and hitting Goodbranson into the boards. The ref's arm goes up pretty much immediately as the Jacket player goes down, a really ugly hit, but then Goodbranson would rise like a hungry zombie, lunging after Cousins, who just turtles like a coward. If you're going to crunch someone's face off the glass, you got to be prepared for some meat hooks to be thrown your way, and he just turtles down to the ice away from danger. I don't really know what's more insane, the fact that it was Goodbranson who had to respond to this, or that Cousins, who got a 5-minute major for boarding, would actually have his penalty reduced to a 2-minute minor. That's ridiculous. Cousins goes in recklessly and causes a dangerous play within a league hit that, I mean, just look at it, could have caused a severe injury. I wonder if the refs saw Gudbranson go down hard, then kind of turn things around and pop up and thought he was faking it or something. I don't know, though. Just a really weird call. Oh, but don't worry about Gudbranson too much, because once he saw how Cousins was acting, he decided to match it, grabbing him by the head during the middle of his own entry and throwing him to the ground like he's on Monday Night Raw. Once Cousins goes down, he just lays into him with a flurry of fists. It's a ground and pound as all hell breaks loose on the ice. Gudbranson obviously gets kicked out for that one. You can't do that. And they give the Panthers a full 7-minute power play because of Gudbranson's major for fighting, along with the instigator. No penalty for Cousin because he didn't fight back. And I think you got to put this one on the refs, obviously. The players are going to police themselves.
All right. So old man Fred.
Hold on. Who's the commentator? Because he made a wrestling reference and an MMA reference all in one clip.
Invite him on the show. All right, old man Fred, rant away.
Well, okay. So this shouldn't have happened at all, right? The 5-minute and a game misconduct, and it should have been a match penalty. Whether Gudbranson gets up or not, it's done. The guy should have, it was a dirty hit. You look, you can see here the way that he hits him going into the boards. It was a dirty hit. And there you go, right there. That elbow coming up. He knows what he's doing. I've heard some people say, oh, Gudbranson turned and all that. Shut up. Because no, what happened is it was a dirty hit. Kick him out. And all Gudbranson's not going to be looking for revenge on just anybody. He was looking for revenge on this guy. Then when Gudbranson grabs him and pounds him, first off, the puke, and I use that word lightly, the puke turtles like his teammate Kachuk, who also is a puke. And you can see that Kachuk was in there too, like, oh, let me at him. It's like, really, Kachuk? Somebody should drop you and just lawnmower on your face is what should have happened. But anyway, so from my perspective, the NHL blew it 100%. What ends up happening is poor Columbus, they end up being penalized hugely. The Florida ends up winning the game because of this thing, and this puke skates away and he's fine, right? And the whole team and led by King Puke, who of course is Kachuk, they're all fine. I hate Florida. I really do. I want Florida just to, if these are the players that they have, screw you, Florida, as far as I'm concerned. Enjoy the sun, wear whatever you want on the beach. But when you're playing hockey, be a man, step up. And if you do something stupid like that, you deserve to be punched in the face several times over because you're a turtle, and it just makes me sick. And the NHL now is going to probably give a suspension to Gudbranson, 5 games, whatever. I don't know.
He only got one. He got one.
Oh, he got one. It was already announced.
Yeah.
But that's one too many as far as I'm concerned. So because it shouldn't have even happened anyway. And
yeah, but
hang on, I'm not done. And the other thing that I want to mention is Gudbranson stood up. Okay, he was injured, but he stood up. That's what a man does, right? You don't lie there and turtle and so on and so forth. And ooh, I'm so hurt. He got up and he tried to deal with it. And for that he gets punished, right? And the other guy gets a 2-minute. It was bullshit squared. And it just infuriated me. And I thought, this is why the NHL is becoming this kind of wuss league, and I'm sick of it. Thanks very much.
Wasn't it Kane from the Oilers that got thrown out for?
That's what I was going to say. Kane did the same kind of play against Ryan Hartman. Refs didn't call anything. Hartman came back, cross-checked Kane, and he got the penalty or the score on the power play, win the game. So it's bad reffing all around.
Somebody got tossed for doing a hit similar to that over the last week, and everybody said like, the Cousins hit was worse than that one. But it's like it depends on the referee crew, And what's shocking is at the beginning of the clip, Glenn, you see his mouth is full of blood. So you have an incidental stick contact with a player's lip, and it's a 4 or a 5. But ram the guy's face into the into the board. He bleeds. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't get that. You got a speck of blood on a stick hit. It's more than a 2, but you French kiss the freaking boards and it remains a 2. It makes no sense, man. And that's where the NHL is getting nonsensical. It's like hits to the head are illegal, but what do 2 people hit when they're fighting? Apparently, they don't hit the head, because if you elbow somebody in the head, you're tossed. If you fight and punch somebody in the head, that's an exception. It's a hit. You're hitting to the head. It's like, and I don't want to get fighting out, but it's like if your hits to the head are illegal for CTE, for the long-term health of the players, somebody fights, they're gone for the game. Period. And that's not a fight. By the way, Grabenson would not get. And by the way, somebody said it's on some clip you see Gaudreau sneaking in some punches to Cousins. So I don't know if it's on the first or the second time, but people say kudos to Gaudreau because while nobody was looking, he was sneaking in punches. So, but what I don't like is Benstrom. You see him, he sees the hit and he goes around the goal. He doesn't beeline it to avenge Grabenson and all that. And something it was Toronto, right? That happened in the corner, and the coach had a fit, so didn't like the response, etc. It's like, no, if your teammates do that, that's a joke, man. It's a joke. And then you have Perron doing stupid shit like that. And he got 6 games, in case you didn't hear.
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, he got 6 games because he went after an innocent bystander. I don't know. Maybe he thought Zub hit Larkin, but you can't do that, man. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's at the beginning of the chat. Everybody was, because Alan Walsh is up in arms with the 6 games. But you can't do that, man. He could have really injured him bad the way he hit him. So, yeah, but on Grabenson, I 100% agree with you. It's all on the refs. It was a bullshit hit. I don't know. I almost want to institute a rule, like Mortal Kombat, they should force Cousins to stand up and fight. It's like, you don't fight, we're tossing you. Your choice.
Well,
it's like
Edmonton knows full well because Zach Cassian and Kachuk, old man Fred's favorite player, something similar happened a few years ago where Kachuk just turtled and Cassian was just pounding on him. And I don't know if Cassian...
hold on. That's being smart because Cassian is a monster, man. That's like people turtling with Probert, man. I don't care how courageous you are. There are certain guys you don't want to mess with. Brashear was one of them. Cassian was another one. Probert was another one. So, and there's been many I would have turtled, but
but there's a reason why
he turtles against everyone.
Cassian went after him. He went after him because Kachuk did this dirty crap to him, and then when it's like, okay, let's fight. Well, then he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Now, in Kachuk's defense, I will say this in case Kachuk's mother's watching or something. He did actually end up dropping the gloves with Cassian and took his
he dropped a couple gloves that game.
Yeah, so I mean, I will give him that credit. I still think he's a puke, and I don't like him at all. And like I said,
all right, who's King Puke, Cousins or Kachuk? You got to
no, Kachuk's King Puke, right? This is
Cousins who didn't drop the gloves at all.
He's a squire. He's a squire. He's he's there, but he's not a king yet. So.
all right, guys.
He's not good enough to be a king.
We've got to move on here. We're already past our hour, and some of us have to get to bed. So let's get on with our last segment here, where we have to reflect back on last week. And Boiled Egg said, I want you guys, let's predict the Ottawa-Detroit score. And Ottawa won this game 5-1. It was Patrick Kane's first game this season. He scored a goal with the Red Wings, their only goal that game. But wow, Ottawa just went right for it. They scored 5 goals, 5-1 score. Didn't really see that one coming, did we?
I didn't, but that's okay. I suck.
I think I saw that one coming.
There was a few Ottawas. There was a few Ottawas in the chat.
I never remember what I picked.
So here we go. This is what we predicted. So it was a 5-1 game. Frank the Tank and Old Man Fred and myself all went with Detroit. Finn was the only one of the panel that went with Ottawa, 4-3. And in terms of the viewers, Boiled Egg once again went with a 4-1 score for Ottawa, and D Block Dragon went 5-2.
Both of them so close, 1 goal off each.
Yep. But also Pop Stongoria predicted Ottawa, and Commander Solo predicted Ottawa. So four of our viewers predicted an Ottawa win. No one got the exact score. No one gets a bonus point. So Finn and Old Man Fred are tied with 4, and myself and Lanky Frank, we've got some catching up to do. So good stuff, Finn, on getting Ottawa that game. All right, this week, I think we have to go with Connor versus Connor. I think we just have to go with
I was going to lobby for that if you guys didn't pick it, to be honest.
Yeah, that game tomorrow, Chicago, Edmonton. We got to do that one. First time these guys have met in their career. Maybe a high-scoring game, a multiple points game for maybe both Connors. Let's start with you, Finn. You're the Edmonton fan.
Point count for Connors.
Yeah, over/under on 8 points for the Connors. Viewers, go ahead, make your predictions as well. What do you think, Finn?
5-3 Edmonton.
5-3 Edmonton. Okay, I am riding the Oiler train, and I'm going to go 6-1 for the Oilers. Bedard gets the only goal for Chicago. Frank? Did Frank freeze up?
No, Frank is thinking. Go to Old Man Fred. I'm going to go.
Okay. Old Man Fred.
6-2 Oil, and Draisaitl gets a hat trick.
Ooh. Calling the Hattie. All right, 3 Oilers so far.
All right, so I'll be a contrarian just to be a contrarian because I suck. But I'll stay at 1. Who cares? So I'll go Chicago. It's going to be a high scoring. Let's go 5-4. In overtime. There you go. So I can get triple bonus points and catch up. Correct score, correct OT. I'm going to catch up in 1 game.
All right, Boiled Egg going for the hat trick 3 games in a row with getting very close. He's going 5-2 Edmonton. Fussmucker's going 5-3, just like Finn. GT Sundowns going 4-2 Edmonton. Leo's going 4-1 Edmonton. And Boiled Eggs going on a limb too, saying Hyman is going to score a couple goals. Well, I think that might be a pretty safe bet. Hyman's playing very well.
That guy playing out of his mind right now. What do the Toronto fans think of that?
Let me tell you, we think shit. That's what we think. we're glad that Campbell's gone, though. Enjoy Campbell.
Oh, by the way, rumors today is that the Campbell situation is on the verge of being resolved.
Yeah.
So
I think Montreal's taking him.
No, we're not going for 4 goalies unless we want him for Laval because Dobis is not ready. He needs to go to ECHL. But no, it won't be Montreal. The contract's too long. But apparently, because they almost made a deal previously for a first rounder and they backed away. So my gut is going to be a swap of goaltenders with San Jose with a first, probably a first in 2025. Not this one. Is going to go to San Jose, and then they got $5 million cap to because Blackwood is not making that much, right?
About $4 million in cap. No, they got $2.5 million in cap.
Okay, so they're
Blackwood's making 2.5.
Okay, so they're going to get the
$2.5 million in cap.
2.5 in cap.
Ish.
Ish, yeah, exactly. So that's the rumors that it's getting resolved, because I think they've said we don't need it. We'll go with Skinner and whoever else we get as a protection for Skinner if he flubs, like Vanacek flub for New Jersey in the playoffs last year. That's why Akira Schmidt came in. And then the other thing I wanted to say is thoughts and prayers to Tony Granato. He got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. So the news came out yesterday, ex-NHL player. So shout out to him. So hopefully things are going well. He got fired from his job at the University of Wisconsin last year. So he was a commentator for Chicago. So just let's hope he beats the cancer. Big C.
Yeah. I mean, tonight's theme is kind of the clock catching up and father time and sometimes father time does things like that. So we have all our predictions in. GT Sundown is saying I'm wearing the Chicago hat. I'm obligated to take Chicago. So you know what? I'm going to change my guess. I'm going to go 4-3 for Chicago in a shootout. All you guys are being specific with your predictions. So we're going 4-3, and I'm going to call Connor Bedard with a hat trick. I'm going to do a double prediction.
Wow.
So there you go, GT Sundown.
You're not allowed. You're going to screw my chance of catching up now, and that's cheating, man.
That's why you wanted to go last, Frank. Oh, okay. Well, we're both behind. We both suck, Frank. So if you saw the scoreboard there.
Well, hopefully you get a double bonus for the OT, but it's 5-4, so I get the triple bonus. So then we're tied at 4.
There you go. Going with Chicago and going with the old Vancouver Canucks logo. Well, one more thing we have to do. We have to draw our winner for a copy of Steam's version of Franchise Hockey Manager. So good luck to those of you that entered. Last chance. Give you 10 seconds. Exclamation enter, exclamation ticket.
Last one coming in. Oh, 2 last ones. Wow. Fighting Chickens and Mitch. Last second.
Machia Pet, and Fighting Chicken. We need to hear more hockey talk from some of the rest of you lurkers out there. Thanks to all of you that are making comments, our usuals. We love talking hockey. We talk hockey off screen as well. And of course, Frank gives it to us off screen.
The arguments, I tell you, should record those things.
We need to do.
We're keeping that topic for later, and I'm glad the Oilers are doing well, because when we come back from the new year, that topic is coming at the table, man.
A reality TV show with the 4 of us. Boy,
Rumble in the jungle.
All right, let's close off the giveaway. It is now closed. Good luck to those of you that are entered. And the winner tonight is
Fighting Chicken.
Mr. Fighting Chicken.
The last one. That's why he waited. He wanted his odds to be better. Wink, wink.
He's like you, Frank. He waited till the last minute to make his prediction. All right. Well, we do have one more copy to give away next week, so stay tuned. One more copy of Franchise Hockey Manager for our last episode of 2023. Gang, any last remarks? Let's start with old man Fred this time.
No, just the Leafs are doing okay, and the Oilers are really doing something. So I said the Oilers didn't have a chance of making the playoffs unless they went 500, like we're 500 by the end of the month, and it's not even the middle of the month, and they're doing all right. So good on the Oil. Keep it going, babies.
Lanky Frank.
Waiting for the fire sale. Montreal is playing above expectations. It's like we're actually fighting for a playoff spot. We're 6 points behind. No, less than that. I think we're a couple of points behind, which is crazy. It's not supposed to happen. So that's good for the development of the kids. Slav has done a 180. He was shit. He got injured. He only played 20-some-odd games last year. Started the year a little bit of improvement, but now he's like taking over the games. It's really fun to see. So if he can continue developing, great. But the fire sale is coming. We're 4 points behind now. I just checked. And it's like, who's getting David Savard? Who's getting Monahan? Who's getting all these vets? So that's going to be our excitement till March, because remember, second half of the year, hockey gets harder. Everybody gets tired, and that's where the cream of the crop rises to the top. And the good teams, they don't have a downfall. The average teams, they start, my leg hurts, I'm tired, etc. So they're going to get wiped out in the second half. Like I said last week, they started this year worse than they did last year. And last year they finished in the bottom 5. But we're giving good effort, and the kids are doing all right. Cofield isn't, but that's going to be a topic for when we come back in January. The sophomore jinx, which is it really a jinx? We'll talk about that. But Cofield, he's shooting like Ovechkin. He's got the same amount of goals and shooting like single digits from 14%. So that's everybody's freaking out here about Cofield. Like, what's wrong with Cofield?
All right. And Fighting Chicken, send me a whisper there, Fighting Chicken, and I can give you the Steam code once we're off air here. Congratulations on that. And Finn, closing comments. Edmonton, 3 points out of a wild card.
Good time to be an Oilers fan again. Still have 2 to 3 games in hand with most of the teams above them in the Western Conference, so that's promising. Ride the good wave, and I don't think they're quite back yet, even though they're suffocating teams. I want to see what they do after a loss before I say that they're back. So if they bounce back right away, I think they're back. If they let another slide happen, maybe some more work to do.
All right, well said. Let's give all the viewers a high five here, panel. Come on, give them a little high five there. Thank you guys for staying with us. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the humor along the way. And like I said, we love talking hockey. We're back next week. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. And panel, start to think of some topics already, because I'm sure there's plenty we could talk about.
For
Thanks,
next
guys.
week, it's are we previewing the World Juniors?
Well, that could be one of the segments. Sure, we could. Yeah.
I think that's what we discussed, because it's right before. It's like all the camps are happening right now. So
sure. Yeah. We'll definitely make that one of the segments. And then anything else that pops up over the next week. All right, panel. Thanks again, guys, for watching. We will see you next Monday.
Later.
Right. Give us the middle finger.